Okay, so this is the second episode of Prehistoric Kingdom. This episode, we're going to be building a turbo cage, as you guys can see from the thumbnail. But one thing I did notice about this enclosure once I finished it is it's honestly not as good as the turbo cage by a big margin. Due to the fact that I relied on the rocks last time to do like the viewing area, gallery, whatever you want to call it, right? And this time I actually tried to build it, and I have realized that I am absolutely shit at building this game. I honestly need to learn a lot, and I think I might like do some off-camera practicing with the builds and stuff like that, and make some prefabs for this park. Because, brother, I left a holes open inside the building. Birds can get in, bugs can get in, everything. But like, I do think this enclosure did also turn out worse due to the fact I had less time. I was doing this later in the night, and honestly, I wanted to finish it in one sitting, and I didn't want to like start it the next day. So I kind of just rushed it all. I also did not know at first that those gray rocks, you could change the color. I did say that last episode that I wish they did have these orange rocks, like for example, like the prehistoric what is it, prehistoric planet, like the what was it, I don't remember which episode. The episode with the turbo though. I just don't know which one it was. But honestly, I think this cage, it kind of helps me reflect on, like I said, the fact I need to get better. But besides that, I think it turned out pretty well. I did make not really like a shelter for them this episode, but I made not a cave, like a crevice, a ravine, whatever you want to call it. It's like a ravine / cave, I would say so. But in the future episodes, I might come back to this during an episode and also add a full-on shelter. I want to start later on, maybe in a new series or something where I have put more time into the cages, they're better and everything. Maybe in that series I could do full buildings for all the dinosaurs and everything, because I do think it's important, obviously, to have areas for the staff to get into to help the dinosaurs and stuff like that. You guys won't see me actually get to build the building because it honestly took me, I think, an extra 30 minutes, and I wasted so much time literally just playing around with the tiles and stuff like that. So that you're not going to see. Besides that, though, there is the actual outcome of the building. You can see me putting some of the benches inside the building. But if you guys know at all how to flatten the tiles and stuff to make it flat on the inside where there's no grass leaking through, please tell me. I have no clue how to do that. When you go inside the building, there's some grass on top of the tiles, which looks absolutely terrible, and I really do not like the way it looked. But besides that, there is some prefabs I found for a waterfall-ish. It's way too big though for what an enclosure, the height of the the rock walls I made. And neither did I know there was fence in this game, fences you could use, which I don't know how I didn't realize that, because there's literally a fence icon down at the bottom. This really shows you how new I am to this game and how much I actually know about it. But honestly, it was a pretty enjoyable cage to make. I do love the turbo, and I do love the kind of sandy mesa, whatever you want to call it, biome. It does look very nice. As you can see, I tried using these as a wall. Then I did realize later there's actual fence prefabs I could use. But honestly, I kind of want to make my own fence designs in the future, because I do like the regular fences you could use, but there is just, I don't know, there is just a lot of better fences you can make by yourself, if I'm being honest. You can practically make whatever you want because of the fact that you have little to no limits. Like I said in the previous episode, there obviously is limits, but there's not too many. And if you're wondering how many episodes this series is going to be, probably 7 episodes. I'm probably going to do 7 enclosures and then get the gist of the game and learn it, and then start a full-on series later on. But I got a bunch of stuff planned for this account and this channel, whatever you want to call it, in the future. In terms of Minecraft, dinosaur content in general, and Jurassic content in general. But also, if you guys are coming from my other channel, I might start posting on that again. I have to, figure out what I'm going to be doing with that content. It did start working pretty well, and I was getting 2K views per video. But besides that, anyway, this enclosure was a lot harder to do than the Torvo, and also a mistake I made during this enclosure. I would recommend always never place prefabs or do your rocks before you do the terrain, because as you can see now, I literally just had to make it like randomly hilly around, and it really did not turn out very nice. It just looks like there's sand dunes everywhere, and neither did I understand how to freaking texture, which I should have done at the start. Like I said, I started texturing and then I ended up just erasing it all and then redoing it all again, which wasted more time once again. So if you guys are gonna build an enclosure, make sure you texture it and do the terrain, you know, inside of the area of the cage you've already kind of made, instead of doing all, you know, the designs and the beautiful terrain and stuff like that. Stick to the basics. Do the basics first, then, you know, don't get ahead of yourself. I think that's the most important thing. When I did this enclosure, I got way too ahead of myself and started doing all the main things first. I think it was also because I kind of was rushing it, like I said, and I didn't have too much time. But besides that, I do think the enclosure turned out pretty well. Those prefabs though I used, though, as you could see, for the ravine, cave, whatever thing you want to call it, I kind of regret using them now, because they kind of look a little weird if I'm looking at them right now. It's just like the rocks are different. I think they could look good. It's just that I would not recommend using the other rocks I'm using then if you're going to use those, because it kind of looks like they're two separate rocks from two different places, which doesn't really make sense in the hindsight. So besides that, this cage honestly turned out, I'm gonna be honest, it didn't turn out that good. It turned out kind of bad. The only thing I would take away from this that's good is the fact I figured out that you can change the color of the rocks. But honestly, I kind of regret building this cage, and I wish I kind of, you know, spent a little bit more time and did, you know, the 2-day long building. But besides that, guys, that's about it, honestly. I'll let the time lapse continue, and I'll be back for the end of the video. Okay, so that's about it for the video. As you can see, the building didn't turn out very good. It's kind of bland and boring. And I did try to add some decorations around the building. I did not realize, honestly, how big this plant was, so I didn't end up adding it. I was going to add like a little, you know, in front thing. I thought it was really small. But besides that, here's a little walk around.